Welcome to On Deck with the Ketts, the official show of the Cotuit Kettleers, taking you through everything happening around Lowell Park and all throughout the village. Now here is your Cotuit media team for this episode of On Deck with the Ketts. Hello everyone and welcome into episode 3 of On Deck with the Ketts, the official show of the Cotuit Kettleers. I'm your Cotuit media host, Tim Crowley, joined tonight by half of the Cotuit broadcast booth for the 2021 season, Stefan Caray. Steph, great to be with you tonight. A fantastic episode we're going to have with an old Cotuit friend joining us on the show tonight.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure to be here on Deck with the Ketts. And today, Bernardo Flores, pitcher in the Chicago White Sox organization. Bernardo, thank you so much for joining us. We're really excited to have you on.
Thank you, guys. My pleasure to be here.
So, Bernardo, just to start, we want you to take us back to the beginning. Growing up in Baldwin Park, California, having a baseball upbringing, what was the beginning of you starting to feel like this is what you wanted to do for a career?
Oh, this goes way beyond, I think, my years in high school. I think it stems off to when I was a kid, when I was a child, really. When first memories that I had of it was, my dad would have a baseball game on, and he would like to tease me by changing the channels and stuff like that. So I would cry when they changed it, and then when it's back to a baseball game, I was calm and so intuitive of it. So it was that, and then from my first words being bat to ball, and then going into in elementary school and checking out a bunch of baseball books here and there, just being fascinated by these pictures and by these stories as I grew older. It certainly made me fall in love with the game, made me fall in love with the history, and just everything about it certainly was attributing a starting point to it.
And what a journey this game has taken you on. Obviously, now getting to the point just a few years later, getting to play in a Power 5 conference at the Division I level at USC. During your time there, how do you feel that you really developed as a player? And, do you have some of your favorite memories from your time there?
Well, it's always a tough one. I mean, obviously seeing a regional one year. No, I think really just going over there and learning what it kind of like, what it's going to be like at the next level. Just developing and growing developing, whether it was all my pitches or whatever the case was, in my mechanics, all that stuff, just trying to grow and develop and just better myself out both mentally and physically. It was one of the best times that I have had about that place. And then just really just being around, all the history and all the, basically all the cool stuff that USC had to offer. It being only 20 minutes away from my house, it's a lot of fun stuff. For me, one of my favorite memories about that place is obviously watching the football games, tailgating with my friends, who are from back home as well. We have our little spot in the Coliseum, and when we go out and tailgate, it's the OG 39th and Menlo tailgaters. So that was cool. Being able to hang out with those guys and so on and so forth. And then, like I said, meeting, the history and meeting some of the guys that have come along the way in the alumni game, getting to meet the big unit. Freddie Lynn came down there. I know he's a Red Sox great. So that was cool as well. But yeah, those happen to be my favorite times there.
And talking about USC, you're a West Coast guy. Coming to the Cape, being on the East Coast, how did that all come about? What was it like? And were there adjustments that you felt like you had to make?
Okay, so I remember when I got back from Alaska, this was after my freshman year, going into my sophomore year, I had mentioned I wanted to go to the Cape. And then it all came about when my coach at the time, Coach Hubbs, said that he gave me an option pretty much if I want to go back to Alaska or wanted to go to the Cape. So I chose the Cape because of all the pristine history and the reputation that it has on itself. So I chose the Cape. And I ended up going to Cotuit. And one of the biggest things I really had to learn about it in the Cape is it's grind in terms of it's only just 3 months of baseball on the road. You're going to another part of the country, you're playing baseball, on the other side of the coast, and you're not going home like every weekend. You're pretty much stuck there for a good 3.5 months. And so, you have to adjust, and you have to learn that, if you want to play in professional baseball, you're going to be gone for like 6-7 months out of the year. So, going to Cotuit and the Cape Cod League certainly gave me that experience. It gave me the knowledge to know how to, conduct myself, when it comes down to playing pro ball and handling all the daily grind and the daily struggles that would be like in a pro ball setting.
So thinking back to that day-to-day atmosphere when you're on the Cape, it's obviously an incredible opportunity to come to an area, to one of the top, the top baseball league for summer collegiate in the country, to come now and also work with some of the best arms that the country has to offer as well. What stood out to your time as a member of this staff in Cotuit? What were you able to maybe learn from the other guys, and even, what were they able to take from you? How did that group really work together during your time as a Kettle leader?
Well, basically, we just, what I learned from them is basically just to kind of let loose, let have fun. Because I know coming up to it, I would be tense so much. I kind of maybe like psych myself out. So, from those guys too, along the way, I learned to, just to be a little bit more loose, a little bit more relaxed. Hey, this game's, it's a game, so and games are supposed to be fun. So, you go out there, enjoy yourself and enjoy the moments, and, just, prepare. You've done your preparation, you've done everything. So just go out and have fun and play the game. And too, along the way, since, I don't know, it was for me, like something specific. I know Coach Roberts definitely wanted me to throw a changeup. Well, I've known how to throw a changeup, but basically just throw the heck out of my changeup and, really start to have a comfortable feeling with it. So, basically it was one of those things that I was kind of like learning over there while I was over there at the time, just basically throwing the heck out of a changeup, and, it just developed into a pretty decent pitch for me throughout the years, and even now in the pro ball.
Well, and it certainly seems like it, with the opportunity to play for a contender in the Chicago White Sox. But with all the accolades on the field, I want to talk about off the field in Cotuit. I remember talking to you on the phone when we were first setting this up. Do you remember your host family? Were they a positive influence on your time in Cotuit?
Oh, it's hard not to forget my host family. The Caseys, Papa Joe, Mama Joe. I already, kind of coined them with their names, Papa Joe, Mama Joe. First of all, they're wonderful, wonderful people. I miss dearly. And for sure, when I get down to Boston, that's one of the first people I'm calling to come down to Fenway, who I'd like to see in Boston and the East Coast. Along with the Flahertys too, Pete Flaherty and little Matthew and William too. All those guys are really, really extremely nice people, kind, genuine people that are good friends of mine. And like I said, I miss them all a lot dearly. But the Caseys, they every time I was there, it made it seem like I wasn't too far away from home. So they made it like a really home atmosphere, a home away from home, you can say. And they took me under their wing and showed me to have a good time around the Cape. So that was pretty awesome.
You talk about trying to have a good time on the Cape, as you know all too well. When you come to this league, it's usually baseball around the clock. But that little bit of time that you did have away from Lowell Park, was there a favorite spot, either in Cotuit or somewhere along the Cape, that really turned into your favorite hangout spot when you weren't at the field?
Well, I did have a thing when I was at the Cape, either swimming, because they had a pool obviously in the backyard of the Cases did. I had some sort of obsession about fishing, because I've heard about a bunch of things about fishing in the New England part of the region. Some cool stuff. I remember I went down to it was me, the Caseys, and they had a good friend Andy. We went out to into the towards the Atlantic, and we were out there fishing for quite a few hours. So that was pretty fun. I enjoy that. The one place I wanted to really get to go, I didn't go to, but I really want to get to check it out one day, is Martha's Vineyard. Obviously, because I filmed one of my favorite movies there in Jaws. Yeah, that's pretty cool. but yeah, I mean, I was so close, but yeah, I didn't get a chance to make it. So I definitely want to get back to that and try that. But no, you know, for me, it was fishing. I know they had the beach over there, so you know, maybe chill out at the beach a little bit. But for sure, it was with the Casey's in the backyard, and you know, hanging out with Dan too, which is pretty much like my host brother, or which is my brother pretty much from the East Coast. So you know, that was cool.
Well, playing at Lowell Park, and we've been upsold on it. For me, I've never been to Lowell Park. I've never even been to Cotuit. But the same thing you hear is that it's one of the best stadiums to play in all of baseball, and the community rallies around the team for every game. Do you have any memories of the community really being involved the year that you were playing with the Kettleers?
Oh yeah, no, it seemed like every single game, like the atmosphere there and everything, it was phenomenal. It was like a bunch of stands in the fans, and you know, just a ton of people. And I remember too, especially like around the 4th of July too, it would get like packed. I mean, I know they had I can't remember. It was like a little parade. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure it was maybe on the 4th of July, if I can recall. But I remember every 4th of July that the Lowell Park would just get packed. I mean, it would get packed, you know, in the bleachers, behind the plate, you know, along the baselines, and even into the outfield. I mean, they're really, you know, about their ball club there in Cotuit. So it's really fun to be a part of it. It's kind of like I said, a little introduction to what it's going to kind of be like playing professional ball, playing in front of like, I would estimate maybe like 1,000, maybe 1,200, if that. I mean, it could be a little bit less, but you know, it gave me a little introduction of what it's like playing with a ton of fans, you know, kind of like in a pro ball atmosphere type setting.
So we talked about that little bit of an experience in Cotuit off the field. As we transition back to the mound, take us through what really makes this Cape League experience so unique and earns them the title of the best summer collegiate league around. You know, is there a special chip on your shoulder when you get to go out there on the mound at Lowell Park, going up against, you know, some of the best 1 through 9s that you'll see in the country?
That's basically it. That's it right there. If anything, 1 through 9, the guys. This is the cream of the college crop. You know, these 1 through 9 guys, they're the best in the country. So you know, you're going up against the best in pretty much college baseball, and you know, these are going to be the guys that you're going to be seeing in pro ball, you know, minor league ball, and even as you get up, you know, higher into the major leagues as well. So I mean, that's pretty much it right there. I mean, you just said it right there. It's just facing a lineup 1 through 9 that you know is the best hitters, or a starting rotation that's going to be the best pitching you've seen. Basically all that, and you know, it's just like how it's just regarded as one of the highest premier leagues around the country for collegiate guys in the summer. So yeah, definitely.
Well, absolutely. And I think it's prepared you well. And taking a look beyond the Cape, what does it mean to you to be playing for an organization like the Chicago White Sox? And in the year 2021, they are one of the favorites in the American League. How excited are you to get going, especially with the pandemic and everything going on? And what are your hopes for this season?
Well, very excited. I mean, I literally a couple of days ago, I just showed up to Glendale, Arizona for the start of spring training in a couple of days. But I mean, it's very exciting. I mean, just knowing, you know, with all the guys that we have, the amount of veteran guys in this club, it's going to be really cool to mingle with these guys, and you know, just to pick up a few things from, you know, the older veteran guys, and you know, just to learn and to develop and grow as a ball club, and as we get underway for this long year, you know, this long marathon. And you know, in terms of like what to expect in 2021, you know, I just want to go in there, do the best that I can, give it all I have, day in and day out, and then you know, just go out there and compete for a World Series title, compete for a division crown, compete for the pennant, and you know, compete for, like I said, for the World Series title, and just help contribute to that factor.
How special, and you know, where is this spring training in 2021 going to rank for you? Obviously, you know, working your way through the minor league system, getting a taste of the big leagues, but then also to really return to baseball and what looks like it's going to be starting on time, a full season in 2021. How impactful is this going to be for you to really get back in the swing of things with your big league career on the horizon?
I mean, like the way I see it is business as usual. You know, with special circumstances or not special circumstances, you know, I take it as, all right, it's another year. Let's go back to do what we normally been doing. You know, let's get back into a solid routine. Get back into, you know, just get back into the swing of things. And once I feel like I've hit a groove, or you know, and I found that stretch, then that's when I start building off of that, and you know, start going into my routine, going into what do I have to do to prep myself and keep on continuing that success, and you know, just keep rolling with it and keep rolling and growing with these guys, and you know, like I said, just to keep on getting on that horse and not you know, not look back from it.
So I have to ask, my dad was born and raised in St. Louis. The White Sox recently hired Tony LaRussa. Have you had conversations with him about the upcoming season? What are your thoughts? I mean, he is a legend in this game, and there's a ton of knowledge to be absorbed from him. What do you think about that?
I mean, I think of a lot. I mean, his resume speaks for itself. He's a Hall of Fame manager. He's right now third in the all-time wins for managers, you know, right behind the great Connie Mack and the great John McGraw, with the potential of capturing and surpassing John McGraw for, you know, the second most wins in all of Major League history. So that's quite a feat in itself, and that's, you know, it gives me kind of goosebumps thinking about that, because you know, he only needs about 80 games or 81 games to do it, and in a full 162 game like this year, it looks like it's very well going to happen. So that's going to be very special to see that stuff. But apart from that, I mean, the record, like I said, it speaks for itself. He's got 3 World Series titles under his belt. You know, he knows what he's doing. He knows what's up. So it's going to be quite a treat to not only just learn from what he has, from his expertise, and you know, from all the years that he's been in this game, not only just to learn from him, but also hear the great stories that, you know, he's had in his time in baseball. You know, from the beginnings to I know the 83 season with when he took the White Sox to the playoffs in '83, all the way to the World Series he got with Oakland, and you know, it's with St. Louis too, and you know, it's going to be quite a treat, you know, kind of hearing and listening all that. I mean, like he's basically a walking baseball Hall of Fame too, if you think about it. So it's gonna be something quite special, quite awesome to be part of and to hear from.
That was terrific to listen to. I think when you walk in for the first full day of team workouts, you're definitely passing the Tony LaRussa history test, which is something we can certainly appreciate. But, you know, we talked a little bit about it before we got on here. There's a very intriguing mix of the veteran presence. Obviously, you have a legendary manager at the helm, but also mixing in with the young talent and the flair that the White Sox have started to develop in their young core these last few years. With this really being the year to mix those together, what are the expectations feeling like around this team?
Last year we went to the playoffs. You know, we got in that playoff realm. You know, it was a tough one to swallow against Oakland, but you know, we now know what the taste. We now know what the feeling is of being in a postseason, and so now it's just all eyes on the prize, all eyes for the, you know, into the World Series. I think we're all buying in, and we're all shooting for the World Series. So you know, that's our expectations. World Series are, you know, like they've been saying too, around Chicago, is either World Series or bust. So we're definitely shooting for that. We're definitely shooting for that title, and you know, we've got the guys to do it around here.
Well, I'm a lover of the city of Chicago for reasons that are fairly obvious if you know the game of baseball. But what's your favorite spot? If you say Harry Caray's, you may win some brownie points. But always curious to hear what people's thoughts are about the organization that they end up in. And Chicago is one of those great cities, quite obviously so much history. Not much of a better place to end up, at least right now, than the south side of Chicago.
Best place. That one's a tough one, because I only got to spend what was it, the whole, was it 3 months, 4 months out there. So I didn't even have my car either out there. I didn't have a car. So it was basically, I was just in my hotel room, and whenever I needed to go to the ballpark, then, you know, I hitched a ride with one of the fellas, and we take off to guaranteed rate. So I couldn't really see the city a lot. Like, I really didn't get a chance to explore, but hopefully this year I'll be able to explore a little bit more. and check it out a little bit more and see what's up with it. And it was like one of the other spots. Like I didn't get a chance to play at Wrigley Field. I would have liked to have surely experienced that, but like I said, who knows with this year coming up. Definitely want to check out more sites and scenes around Chicago.
Well, also, you're gonna have to let us know where you do find for your good food spot. Have you found your deep dish place yet? That's gonna be your go-to, or you have the recommendations on the list of where to go for it?
No, not as of yet. I mean, I went to the one place I keep hearing about. Obviously, is Giordano's. I mean, I'm sorry if I'm not saying it right, but Giordano's. Certainly one of the places. It was like right next to our hotel room in Schaumburg. So, I picked up a pizza pie of those, and it was pretty good. It was pretty solid actually. But as in like kind of like hole in the wall places, I have yet to find one, but I'm sure gonna find one because I like finding those mom and pop type places for sure.
Well, certainly when you have the big city like Chicago, there's so much that you need to take a minute to look around and find. In Cotuit, it's a lot smaller. There's a lot more of a sense of community. Do you remember a particular spot or restaurant that you like to eat at in Cotuit that maybe was memorable, or even on the Cape in general?
One place that was really memorable that really just stuck out to me was the general store, because I don't know, we'd go there, right before we go to the ballpark, grab like a quick bite, like, grab a quick sandwich or like if it was a snack right there, we'd pick something up, and then go to the ballpark from there. But yeah, I think for me, that was one of the more memorable places in Cotuit that I've been to. It was there, and actually, the Polar Ice Cream. I think it was called the Polar Ice Cream, but it was a little ice cream shop. I think it was, like I said, the Polar Bear or something like that. But I know they had some really good ice cream there too. So, yeah, those two places in general were really the ones that stuck out to me.
So, Bernardo, we really appreciate you joining us tonight. And as we start to wrap up, with this season on the horizon, as we talked about, you're getting ready to go for spring training. As you advance into 2021, get ready for this season with Chicago. Are there lessons from this season that are really going to stick with you that you learned from Cotuit that are ready to translate to your time in Chicago now?
Yeah, for one of them, it's being mentally locked in is one of them. Being ready to go at all times. Because you just never know. And it was one of the things that I experienced in the Cape. Is just like one of those things where you just never know. So you just always want to be ready at all times, and just keep prepping and keep doing your thing, keep working hard at it. But mainly just be ready, because you just may never know the situation or the circumstance, and then two, like we talked about earlier, is understanding that this is a long marathon, and you're going to be away from home for a good length of time. So you have to be ready, and you have to be with a good mindset, a good attitude with it, and just got to keep working at it day in and day out, because there ain't no going home every weekend. You're here for about a good 6-7 months, and so you got to stick it out and grind it through, and have a good good mentality each time you're out there, whether it's on or off the field. So,
well, Bernardo, we really appreciate you joining us for episode 3 of On Deck with the Ketts. Stefan Caray, Tim Crowley, always a pleasure to bring you Kettleers content. Bernardo, best of luck going into the season in 2021.
Thanks for having me, guys. It was my pleasure.